Tony D and Little Joan with a Screenwriter's Rant on a Good Person, starring Morgan Freeman and Florence Pugh. Who? Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10 available at Amazon.com. I will be at Ark Brewery tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 to 4. For their Christmas car show, there'll be cars, beer, and Pineys books. All right. So, from the writer and director of Garden State, yeah, I didn't like that movie either. A Good Person. And pre-trailer in front of the trailer, because it's very important to have a pre-trailer in front of a trailer, on the trailer. Because, the trailer's 2 minutes, and if you don't like the pre-trailer, then why waste the other 2 minutes of your life, right? Yeah, you think I have a short attention span. So Morgan Freeman is the old guy. Surprise, surprise. Who likes trains. And this is his son. And he's got a granddaughter. And his son is engaged to Florence Pugh. Who? And life is going great until one day Florence is out with her future sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and there's a terrible car accident, and the future sister-in-law dies. And Florence Pugh survives, but she can't deal with it. She blames herself. From Zach Braff, writer and director of Garden State. It's a very grounded drama. So she can't deal. Her life falls apart. Her prospective marriage to Morgan's son basically isn't happening now because she falls into drugs and alcoholism, and he's a Vietnam vet too, but he's also a counselor. And Molly Shannon plays Florence's mom, and she goes into rehab one day and happens to go into the church where Martin Freeman does rehab. So he becomes her friend and tries to get her into rehab. Here she is going to a show wearing a Nick Cave t-shirt because that's cool. At the same time, Morgan Freeman's dealing with his granddaughter, having sex and being a teenager. And it's just about life, right? It's about her struggle to get her life back. And then she helps Morgan Freeman deal with his granddaughter, who's maybe a little out of control. So it seems like a good setup for a drama. And then Molly Shannon is the mom, who I guess is struggling with her addiction. Only in theaters in March. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid premise, I think. Solid cast, certainly. Glad to see Morgan Freeman's not doing, is no longer the biggest guy in Hollywood. For a while, he was doing these horrible movies. They just put him in anything. They just come up with an excuse. How can we get Morgan Freeman in this movie? I don't know. Write a part for him. Make him this guy. Just make that guy old and with a deep voice. So, really, the centerpiece is Florence because she's the hot new thing. And Morgan Freeman is the old veteran actor who was always kind of old. I remember him as Eazy-E on Electric Company. Or Easy Reader. I always call him Easy-E. Easy Reader. Anyhow. So, first act, she's got this great life. She's marrying into this family. Everybody loves her. Then the car accident changes everything, right? So, she stumbles down, can't pull her life together, gets addicted, and then it probably is the sort of thing where we get the setup, right? Everything's great, and then the accident happens, and then it cuts to 2 years later, something like that. A time passes, and now her life's a wreck. Morgan Freeman's son is miserable, can't get over her, and can't seem to get her off the drugs or whatever. She stumbles into his rehab session, and they become friends. And then second act's about Morgan trying to get her off of drugs, while at the same time she helps him with his granddaughter who's sexually active, and that's a whole thing. And then third act, she overcomes, or doesn't. I mean, drama-wise, the biggest drama would be that she dies, but I don't think it's going down that way. I think it's probably, you know, she gets her life together. I mean, the ending I would like to see, maybe I'm sentimental, call me sentimental if you want, is she gets back together with her boyfriend. And they struggle, but, you know, and I think there's an indication that even the boyfriend is having some problems too, because he's not dealing with it well. Maybe he's drinking. There's a scene where Morgan Freeman picks up a bottle, and I assume that's in his son's house, not Florence's. And then Molly Shannon seems to be the comic relief, the mom who is nice but can't really deal with this. So I'm not so sure what age Florence is supposed to be in this movie. Definitely doesn't feel like high school or anything. She's definitely a grown-up, but also feels I'm not sure how old she is. So I'm gonna guess early 30s, late 20s maybe for the character. Yeah, so I think probably the ending is very kind of grounded. Like, it's not like a super happy ending. It's more of like an ending like, well, there's hope here. She gets her life together and starts talking to him again. That to me is probably the end of the movie, because Zach Braff, I think he's trying to do these very grounded movies. I don't know. I had no interest in Garden State, mainly because what's her face is in it, and I don't really have much interest in this. I mean, it looks nice. It looks like a drama. I very rarely go, ooh, I got to see a good drama. That's just me. For someone, if you like drama, I think this will be pretty watchable. I think this will be decent. I don't think it'll blow your doors off, but I think it'll be okay. It appears to be competently made. It's got a good cast. So I would find it hard to believe this would be horrible or woke or anything like that. It's just going to be life. And those movies kind of don't interest me, because I live in life, and I don't go to the movies for these kinds of movies. I don't really watch these movies because they're not an escape. They're more like, oh God, yeah, life sucks. It doesn't suck. It's hard. So, I mean, it seems fine. I think it'll do okay. It probably didn't cost a gazillion dollars. This is an actor's movie. Most of the actors probably took a pay cut to be in this because it gives them acting cred. Maybe it gets them an Oscar nod down the road. Or maybe it's just credibility. So then when Hollywood does give you a big role, you have some gravitas to bring to the thing. If you're in some Hollywood blockbuster that's kind of brainless, people go to see it because, oh, I like that person in that movie and in A Good Person. That's kind of how it works. Some stars burn up their credibility too soon, and then who the hell cares? Like Martin Lawrence. Somebody just saw the Martin Lawrence movie Mind Cage, where he's trying to be like a serious actor. I don't think it really works for him because I think he's too much of a comedian. But that's sort of the celebrity version of paying your dues. Like, he's going to do some important work for a while and then get back into the bigger movies. Florence is just the it girl right now, I think, and she's just going to be in everything because she's young, she's beautiful, and she's got a big name. And Zach Braff has directed Garden State, and Garden State did well, so it's not going to be a big movie, but it'll be like a movie. I don't know where a movie fits anymore in terms of the current streaming world. Doesn't seem to me that there's a lot of call for a movie like this in regular theaters, because you can see this anywhere. You just have to wait. And this isn't a movie that necessarily needs to be seen on a big screen. It's not like timely, like, ooh, I have to see this movie for most people, unless you're a real drama nut. So I think this is the kind of movie that just sort of sits there. But it's coming out in March. That begins the process of people going back to movies. So, it could do well. Anyhow, A Good Person coming in March. Only in theaters. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check out our Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble channels for 2 other videos you don't get to see here. And I will be at Arc Brewery tomorrow. So hope to see you there, and we'll see you in the next one.